Hey, what up, what up? Just want to make a quick video. And it's about the Terrence Crawford and the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. And I just want to address something real quick. I think the popular narrative, or the popular thing to say, is that Terrence Bud Crawford has a higher IQ in this fight. And I want to address that real quick because I see that getting thrown a lot. And I just want to address that real quick. And I can see why people are saying that, or I can see why that's the narrative, but here's my thing, and here's my thing though, and here's the reason why they're saying that. They're saying that because Bud is not necessarily a pressure fighter, okay? So the pressure fighter is always going to be looked as the guy who doesn't have the high IQ, or a higher IQ than someone who is not a pressure fighter. You get what I'm saying? They just look at high pressure fighters as somebody who has, of someone who's not of that ilk or caliber, or someone who has a high IQ. And so, given the fact that Bud can switch hit, he can fight righty orthodox and lefty southpaw, and given that he's not a pressure fighter and that he's a counter puncher, he's seen as a guy who has a higher IQ. And here's where it gets kind of tricky to me, especially when it pertains to this fight. I get where that's coming from, but I can't really say that he has a higher IQ than someone like Errol Spence, for the simple fact that Errol Spence has never been in a fight where he's been put in a position where he has to prove himself. Where he has to prove himself that he can make certain adjustments, or he has to change the game plan, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Spence has ever been put in a position where he has to exercise that. You get what I'm saying? And so it may seem like Terrence Crawford has a higher IQ, but a fighter like Errol Spence, who is predicated on the jab and being a pressure fighter and just totally just mauling and pretty much rolling over his opponents. He's never been in a position where he has to prove that, he has to make certain adjustments, or where he has to kind of flex his IQ, if you get what I'm saying, in so many words. And so if you can't make Errol Spence make adjustments, I don't know how much this whole IQ thing in this particular scenario, particular fight, matters, if you get what I'm saying. So I don't know, man. So does Bud Crawford has a higher IQ than Errol Spence? I don't know. I think Bud Crawford's going to have to make Errol Spence make adjustments. If you can't make Errol Spence make adjustments, make him think twice, then I don't know. So far going into this fight, I don't know who has a higher IQ, because Errol Spence has never been put in that position where he has to actually make certain adjustments. Usually the game plan that Errol Spence goes into the fight with is usually the game plan he ends the fight with. So like I said, I don't know, but we should see, man. It should be a good fight. That's just my thoughts, man.